There's been some wild stuff in the world of t-shirts in the last couple of days as Keemstar actually got Mr. Based on Lolcow Live and confronted him about a whole bunch of stuff. And then Keemstar was like, huh, I should become World of T-Shirts manager. And World of T-Shirts had some issues where people were calling places that him and Based were, or were following them to those places while streaming, which is an unfortunate risk of IRL streaming, because people don't know how to act in society with that. Um, Obviously, the police can be notified of those things, but doesn't necessarily always actually prevent the situation from happening. Keemstar said he's managed a bunch of YouTubers, including pretty much being the only reason Boogie2988's not homeless right now on the show. And I think that actually Josh would be able to do a lot better with Keemstar than he has with Michael Quinn or uh, Jason, Mr. Bass. And the reason for that is because Keem actually knows how to make content, how to make a content strategy. And the content strategy would be more than just Josh drinking. Keem might actually convince Josh to not drink. I don't think that's possible. But Based has been having some issues with Josh. Um, there was a phone call that leaked that talked about how Based was hoping 10% of Josh's audience would come to him and he could just ditch Josh, which, if you watch the stream, Josh does basically all of the work and gets none of the money. Team at least pays people, other than, the situation with Tommy. But he generally will pay you when you show up for work. And that's why Boogie is continuing to get $4,000 to $6,000 a month from that show. If Josh were to commit to, let's say, 8 hours a week on Lolcow Live, he'd probably make enough money that he could actually afford his own apartment in New York City, with his own streaming setup, with his own everything. It'd be a really cool thing for him. Plus, he'd still be able to do his cameos. If he worked towards not being as drunk, he could do his cameos better. I don't know why people continue to buy the cameos to leave 1-star reviews. I've been getting cameos recently, fantasy football drafts and stuff, or people asking for like luck in their in their leagues and things like that. Gotten a 5-star review. I've made like $100 doing it. He's made over $5,000 this month, and that's with the discount of 30 at being $35 as opposed to 50. Keep mine at 11. I might to 12 because this 12 just seems like a better number to me. It's one of those things where it's like I might, but 11's working. Um, so it may or may not happen, but it's 11 right now. If Josh dropped his cameo to $10, $11, he'd probably make triple the amount of money he does on there now. They'd probably be of a higher quality because he'd be asked for less per. And on top of that, he would also be able to potentially use those clips or even clips from Lolcow Live if he chose to go on there on his TikTok that are over a minute long and make money from that. As of 4 months ago, you cannot make money on the content that's less than a minute long on TikTok now. And last I checked, every single video on his account is under a minute long, meaning it doesn't make any money. He doesn't live stream himself on TikTok at all. And you can get gifts on TikTok. People just send gifts. It's a thing that happens. This is really easy, accessible to do. You don't have to have any requirements to actually get the gifts other than being over the age of 18. Um, yeah, but he meets those requirements. He can get those gifts. He doesn't need to actually have some amount of subscribers like he does on YouTube and Twitch. He does have a YouTube channel that's not done much. It's called World of Interviews, which is good idea. It's just he didn't stick to it, which is fine. You don't stick to a project, whatever. Who cares? You know, "Yeah, it's not for me. I don't want to do it, so you don't do it." And it was only after a couple videos. I mean, even it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, if Josh were to go and be with Keemstar as his manager, Josh would be much more successful, would make more money, would be able to get an apartment on his own in New York City. And unfortunately, his grandparents are both old and probably sick of his nonsense. So he needs to figure something out with that. And it would be very, very much a good idea for him to go with somebody who has a proven track record of making money. And it's not like Keem's that far from New York City. He could get there in half a day. So yeah, Keem and Josh IRL content would be awesome. They should do that, and it would probably be more fun than what he's doing with Based.